Good afternoon, good evening, welcome. Welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Mary Grace. It's good to see everybody here. Hello. Please come on in and share this. Say hello when you come in. It's good to see you guys. Hello there. Hello everybody. Come on in. I'm Mary Grace. This is Real Talk with Mary Grace. It's Monday, the 3rd of May, 2021. And we are moving into May, believe it or not, kind of crazy. Come on in. Lots to talk about today, as usual. It's good to see you guys. How's Barley? Barley's good. Barley is great. He thinks that we're here to play with him 24/7. And you know how that goes. He's a kitten, so it's hard to believe he's still a kitten because he's so big. He's so big. But he's very sweet. He thinks he wants to be an outdoor cat, but that's not going to happen. Okay, so come on in. It looks like people are kind of slow coming in today. Let's see. You want to hear dad stories? We had kind of a quiet weekend. All right. So please share this. So if you're on Facebook, take the link and share it into groups, and make sure that you tag people, tag your friends on Facebook, because Facebook isn't automatically going to get my content out. They have figured out that we're not in line with their ideology. So we want to make sure we get the content out. So please make sure that you tag people and share this into groups that you belong to. It really does make a difference. And then on YouTube, make sure that you hit the thumbs up, and then make sure that you comment during the live stream, and then also hit subscribe. So if it's a red, that means you still need to subscribe, and then hit the bell. The bell is supposedly going to notify you when I go live. And sometimes it works on my YouTube, sometimes it doesn't. We'll just see what happens. But here's the thing. What I really wanted to ask you guys to do, I want to try something on YouTube. They've been censoring me lately. In fact, they've been putting the gray cover over my video, so it looks like there's nothing there when you're scrolling through the feed. And so I want to see if we can trick the algorithm, and I need your help. What I would like for you to do is, not only would I like for you to share my video into other places, emails and chats and things like that that you belong to, but I would also like it if you would come back after the live show and leave comments underneath the video. Okay? So please do that, because I want to see if we can break through their algorithm on that. It looks like my viewership right now is super low, but that's just how they roll. I'm on CloudHub 2. It's channel 111. And then I'm working on trying to get a channel on some other platforms, including frankspeech.com. I'm also on Rumble. I haven't really been uploading to Rumble, but probably should do that at some point. And then I'm on Instagram, Mary Grace Media. So please just make sure you're following me on those channels. How's everybody doing today? Good to see everybody. People were kind of in a panic the other day when they came to my show. I was a little bit alarmed at how easily people are getting panicked these days. It seems like nothing should panic you anymore, because you're being given ample opportunity to walk in faith. So as you're coming in, share this. I want to talk about a couple things. There was an audit. I mean, the Arizona audit is going on, as you know. You should know that. This is historic. It's really a big deal. And thank you for sharing this. So This is a big deal, and it's a little bit hard to explain it to people who may not have been following the entire election process, or who may be thinking that it's unnecessary, that it's unpatriotic, or whatever. And so I wanted to tell you guys about a video that I shared into my Telegram earlier today. And that was a video that was posted by somebody that I had never seen before. I think Praying Medic shared it in his Telegram too. But it's the channel. What do you see happening? The channel is called The Wide Angle with, what is it called? His name is cut off. The Wide Angle with Bren, BREND something. Okay, this is the channel. All right, look that up. The Wide Angle. So he does a lot of reporting. Okay, the audit is not the big lie. I'm going to come to that in just a minute. So let's be careful about the wording. The audit itself is not the big lie. But what I wanted to tell you guys is that this this video that he put up, okay, it's called Getting to the Truth of the 2020 Election, Maricopa County. So that's what it looks like. See the top one there? So if you go to that channel and click on videos, that's the first one you'll see. Let me see if I can get it right without the glare, okay? And I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it to my Telegram again, okay? I'm going to share it to my Telegram again. Okay, so I shared it earlier. It's going to be going to Mary Grace Media Official, and I want everybody to go there, and I want you to send it to people that you know. Send it to people that you know. Okay? All right. Send it. Now, let's see. All right. Now, send it to people because he does a great job. It's a fairly objective an account. Even though his channel is clearly conservative, this the way that he conducts the interviews and the way that he presents this information is fairly objective. So the reason that I'm recommending it is that I think that it will really help you to communicate with people in your family who may be thinking that you're crazy because you still believe that there was a lot of wrongdoing and nefarious activity around the election. This is a good video to share. Just say, hey, please take 20 minutes and watch this so that you understand where I'm coming from on this. You don't have to agree with me. Just take a look because it's important. I mean, do you agree that it's important that our election process is fair and and safe, and that it's protected for all eligible voters? I mean, you have to couch that question in such a way that it doesn't make it sound like that everybody should vote. Okay. But he explains, he does a good job of explaining the way that elections work in America and the way that they were designed to work even by the Constitution. So it's a little bit of history. It's a little bit of current events. They talk to some of the representatives, and I think that it's really important to see this. Diane is saying, when you send a clip to someone from Telegram, do they have to have Telegram to view it? I don't know, but what I would do is open the YouTube link and then send them the YouTube link directly. That you can do that. You don't have to send them the Telegram link. Just go to you. Just click on the YouTube link that I just shared, open it in YouTube, and then share it. That's what I would recommend. So, so that's a good question. Now, wanted to get that out there. That is important. So it's called. So the channel is called The Wide Angle. Oh, where did it go? The Wide Angle I wish I could see his whole name. I don't know how to see his whole name on the channel. I don't know how to expand that. But the there's the video. Okay, you can go search it right there. All right. So go find that. Go send it to people that you know. Now, I wanted to tell you guys something. Did I tell you that I signed up to be a delegate in the Virginia in the Virginia upcoming Virginia elections? Did I tell you that? So Virginia doesn't have a primary. They don't do primaries for House and Senate and governor and attorney general and lieutenant governor, any of that. What they do is they do a convention, and delegates, basically you have to apply and you get accepted or chosen to be a delegate for the convention. I'm still learning the process, but what I did find out is that the entire Virginia GOP gets access to your information, and then they completely flood your phone and email nonstop. Every single candidate who's running for anything, and everybody that wants to endorse them or wants to not endorse them or expose them or whatever. Every single person that has an interest in this race, in these races, gets my information. I wish I had known that, because I would have used a different phone number and a different email. However, so here we go. I found out, I got an email from the local party, and they were explaining a little bit about this, and it's very interesting because um, a primary is open to the entire state. So for the presidential election, we have primaries. You can go. I voted for Donald Trump in the primary in 2016 and in 2020. And we did hold real primaries. Now, for the convention, for this, it's just delegates who are doing the voting. So I'm starting to feel the gravity of this a little bit, because I am one of several hundred in Virginia who has the responsibility of of voting for the person out of an entire pool of individuals, that the person that I deem the best choice for the Republican candidate. So this is a Republican convention. This isn't the vote for that office. This is the convention where I go and I have to research. I get to research all of the possible candidates who are trying to vie for the candidate position, so that their name can get on the official ballot when election time comes. Isn't that interesting? I know that there are other states who do that. It's kind of a crazy situation, and what happened last year with our representative, we had Denver Riggleman, who is a rhino through and through, and he actually got pushed out. He got pushed out of the race for reelection as a congressman by Bob Good. And they didn't manage to steal the election away. They didn't steal that seat from a Republican. And so I don't know all the ins and outs of that, but let me just tell you, if there was ever a reason to celebrate a one-term congressman, it's that, because Denver Riggleman is spending his time trying to disprove the election fraud. He's a Republican, and he's out there on Facebook and everywhere else saying that there was absolutely no theft and that the election was fair. Yeah, that was our representative in 20 who got elected in 2018. So he's out, and that seat is up for reelection too. But I think that's a whole different convention. This is for, like I said, governor, attorney general, lieutenant governor, Commonwealth's no, is it Commonwealth's attorney? I need to go look. Um, yeah, President Trump hasn't endorsed anybody yet in this in Virginia because it's basically a primary. And so I think it's gonna be interesting to see how this goes. So that's happening this Saturday. It's happening I have to go to the local high school, and I'll be there with the delegates from my area. And I need to call I need to call my friend Kelly and get the lowdown on exactly how that's gonna happen because I've heard in the past that these conventions can go for hours and hours and hours, and it's sort of like being on the floor of the stock market that, you have people lobbying you the whole time you're there. I'm not quite sure what I got myself into, but I feel like it's my responsibility. I just didn't know that I was gonna be inundated with calls and emails and text messages nonstop. It's crazy. And, so, yeah, we really need a Republican governor for sure in our state. But, one of them actually called me yesterday, Sunday afternoon. One of their actually, they had somebody out canvassing, 2 different people. They were canvassing, and then, one of them called me, and I asked him to take me off the list because I don't wanna be called on Sunday. Uh, am I the only one who thinks that? That you shouldn't be calling people on a Sunday for politics? So, that sorta tells me where their campaign stands. And there's a ton of people out there that are Christian and conservative, but see, they're all Republicans, and so it's my job as a delegate to determine and to look at their records and to do the research and to figure out what they really stand for. So if there's anybody who wants to jump in on that little project and help me, that would be awesome. I'm starting to do the research. I mean, we've gotten inundated with mail. Uh, and it's all the smear campaigns and attack ads and things like that. And I don't watch TV. I can only imagine what that would be like if I turned on the TV just nonstop, uh, so and so is not tough on crime. I do need help researching. That would be awesome. Yeah. Uh, Send me an email. That would be so great. I would love it. Um, yeah, I think there's probably, and I'm gonna call Kelly. Somebody may have put together a spreadsheet um, that I can look at. I need some bullet points for all these people, to see where they fall. Because there was one person that we thought was good, and then a friend of mine, her brother is retired law enforcement, and he said that she was really not friendly to police. So I mean, crazy, crazy. So yeah, Tracy Beans won a spot. I I'm not running for anything. I'm a delegate. That's all. So, yeah, but I could use help with the research. So, speaking of, I wanted to show you guys something. Um, I wanted to tell you about something that came on my radar. There is a restaurant in Utah. Changing the subject here. So there's a restaurant in Utah called Summit Pizza Company, and somebody posted in my Telegram that this restaurant is opened and that they stopped requiring masks for their employees. Somebody asked about the big reveal. I'm getting to that. That's part of my show. So just hang out. Um, Delegate Lives Matter. Thank you. All right. So Now, here's what I wanted to tell you. This company in Utah, I wanted to bring your attention to this. I want to bring your attention because this company is open, this restaurant, and they are not requiring their employees to wear masks. Thank God. And of course, the cancel culture is piling on them and leaving them horrific reviews. Some lady left a bad review because her children have health issues, and so she thinks it's the responsibility of other people who are working around hot pizza ovens to cover up their mouth and impede their breathing. I don't know if you guys have ever, anybody here has ever worked in a pizza restaurant. It's really hot. To expect somebody to cover their mouth and stop their breathing when they're working around a pizza oven, that's a big ask. Um, and the fact that they did it uh, so far that they got away with it is ridiculous. But anyway, I wanted to tell you this because this we want to send them. I want you guys to send them some love, and I was thinking that it would be good if you gave them some reviews. Now, Google says that they don't remove reviews. So, if you're from out of town and you can't get there, you could go and leave a review and say, I support a business's right to make their own choices about how they conduct their business. Something like that. It would be interesting to see if Google removes those reviews because I've actually tried to get nasty reviews removed for clients, and I've been told free speech. We can't remove them unless they violate the law or something like that. Don't even try on Yelp because Yelp has this crazy algorithm where they know that you're just doing the review to be nice to the company. Imagine that. And they'll just take it away or they'll sandbox it to where nobody can see it. But it's called Summit Pizza Company, and it's in Utah. Here's what it looks like on their Google. Just go to Google Maps. Summit Pizza Company, Utah. All right, it's Leahy, Utah. Okay, pretty cool. So go leave a good review. But here's the other thing I want you to do. Okay, it's in the outlets at Traverse Mountain. I wonder if they have any swag. I wonder if they have any merch. Because if they do, you should go buy one of their t-shirts. I want to support them. Oh my gosh, this looks amazing. Farm to table fresh. Farm to table. It's like it's homemade. Look at these garlic knots. Come on, guys. Just order those and have them FedEx to your house. All right. I'm getting hungry. Oh, look. So sweet. Look at that. Apparently they don't call them garlic knots, but the reviews, people love them. Amazing. Okay. So, you know, the people that are leaving bad reviews, just go eat somewhere else. Go eat somewhere else. This is an award-winning restaurant. Award-winning. And I'm trying to see on their website if they have any merchandise. If they don't, they should. Somebody should tell them to put up merchandise. So, I just want to encourage you to go there and leave them a good review. Okay? Summit Pizza Co. in Utah. Now, I know it looks great, doesn't it? Okay. So I just wanted to get that off my list. I want to support these people that are doing the right thing. Now, oh, there's a lot to talk about here. So listen, this is important. Now, I want to go back to the Arizona audit. I want to talk about that a little bit because President Trump came out today. The media, of course, the enemy of the people, they have been coming out and they've been coming out and saying that uh oh wow. Okay, they've been coming out and calling this the big lie. They've been using that term and saying that, that Trump's claims that the election was fraudulent is the big lie. And so the president came out today. He turned the tables on them and he said, two can play this game. And so here's what he said. Uh, he was really on rare form today. So this was this morning. Statement by Donald J. Trump, 45th President of the United States of America. The fraudulent presidential election of 2020 will be, from this day forth, known as the big lie. All caps. All right. And so this is important because he's turning the table, and he's always taking back the narrative. And this is good, because if you look up the big lie on Wikipedia, the this is what it says. It says the big lie was a 1951 anti-communist propaganda film produced by the U.S. Army. It says it aimed to portray the Soviet Union as an aggressive totalitarian empire, much like the recently defeated Nazi Germany, and indeed begins with a quote by Adolf Hitler. The great masses will more easily fall victim to a big lie than a small one. And so it says the film links the communist and Nazi ideologies by showing scenes of forced labor, sham elections, kangaroo courts, and parades held by the armed forces or by regime-controlled youth organizations. Can anybody say Black Lives Matter, Antifa? In each case, showing an example from Nazi Germany, followed by another example from the Soviet Union. So the president has brilliantly, once again, turned their narrative back on them. And that's important, because what they did really was the big lie. And they have been telling people over and over and over, nothing to see here, everything is fine. I think that he's also lumping the pandemic into that. So think outside the box, think outside the perimeters of the sham election, because the whole year, everything they did in 2020 was a big fat lie, and they're still lying to you. And that leads me to the topic of my show today, which is the big reveal. And what do I mean by that? Well, I had this epiphany. I came up with this analogy that I wanted to give you an illustration of what's actually been happening. And I got this picture. Sometimes God gives me these downloads of ways, analogies or parables to illustrate what's actually going on. And I started to see it pretty clearly. And I think that I think it'll give you an idea of how people are waking up, but also the unpleasantness of what's happening as you wake up. And so again, this is an analogy. There's probably going to be some holes in it. It may not all line up, but bear with me, because this is what I picture is going on right now. So how many of you guys like to eat out? Give me a show of hands. Who likes to eat out? Who has a favorite restaurant that you go to? Maybe that you've gone to for years. A nice restaurant, or a restaurant that you go for special occasions. Doesn't every family have that? We're going to go to such and such for a birthday, a celebration, a holiday, that kind of thing. So a nice restaurant. I'm not talking about Bojangles or McDonald's. All right. So I'm talking about like a legit, 3, 4, or 5-star restaurant, special. Okay. We all have those. Now, so and if you live in a city, you probably have some that you frequent all the time, right? And so now here's what I saw. This is it. So imagine that you've been going to this restaurant pretty frequently over time, right? Yeah, I mean, you're regular, your family knows the menu, you know what's on the menu, you know what to expect. You expect that they're gonna that what they say on the menu is what they're gonna give you, so that if it says chicken, you're not getting crocodile, right? That you can believe what they say, that what they represent is what you're getting. That's what we expect when we go to a restaurant. You can also expect that if the health inspector certificate says 100, that they're cleaning the restaurant, that they're meeting the health department requirements for a clean restaurant. That's what you expect, right? Because what they tell you and what they show you and what gets put on on the table in front of you is what they've advertised. And so, they have a certain standard that they live up to, and that's why you keep going back there. The staff is there uh because they are there to work and to make a living, and they're nice, they remember you, you come back, you're treated like a human being, that kind of thing. Okay. So, that's the way that restaurants work. All right. Now remember, I'm doing an analogy. So think about your whole life, not just whether you went out during COVID. I'm not talking about COVID specifically. I'm talking about like in your whole life, your family, things that you've done growing up, things that places you've taken your kids, graduation, weddings. This is what I'm talking about. So don't get too myopic here on COVID, on 2020. Work with me here. Don't go down the rabbit trail of what happened last year, because I'm giving you a bigger picture of what's been going on and what's being revealed. Okay? So, I painted the picture. Most everybody has that, unless you live off the grid and you've never gone to a restaurant in your life. Everybody has places like that. So let's just imagine over time that something happens at the restaurant. Let's say that you go to the restaurant, and the and something comes out on your plate that isn't quite what you expect. Let's say that you order, the fish. Let's say that you order sole marnier, right? And you get the fish, and there's just something a little off about it. Maybe like the butter tastes kind of rancid. Just something little, like, you're just like, I don't know. Can you bring me something else? This isn't up to the standard that I expect. Okay. So in a normal restaurant that has a reputation to protect, they would say, sure, no problem. What would you like? Here's the menu. It's on the house. Right? That's what they would do. And so then it would be done and dusted, and you would still have a fabulous time. They would treat you great. And then, you wouldn't even think about it. You would just say, okay, they had an off day. Okay. But let's say that you go back the next week and you're at the restaurant, and, you order again. And let's say this time you order ribs, and it comes, and it's just like it's so overdone that it's charred and the meat is really dry, and there's hardly any sauce on it, and the sauce isn't the sauce that they used to use. It's like really sweet and gross. Okay. And um so you're picturing this. Stay on topic here, guys. Leave COVID out of the conversation for a minute, because I really want you to understand where I'm going with this. So just stick with me. Comments on Facebook. Stay on topic. I want you to get this. This is important. I'm getting to something here. So, um, so you go to the restaurant. You call the waiter. You say, "Hey, this isn't what I ordered. I got to send this back." Okay. So imagine this time they tell you, okay, we can fix it, but it's going to cost you an extra $10. We can fix it, but we have this policy. We're just going to add another $10 to your bill. And so you might go along with it. Okay. You might go, uh, okay. All right. The first time. Okay. So then this happens again. You come back, something else goes wrong. And this time they don't tell you they can fix it. They don't tell you they're going to add more money. They actually tell you, everything's fine. I don't know what you're talking about. This is your imagination. Um, you must be imagining this. These ribs are fine. And then, the manager comes out, he picks one up and eats it and goes, see, they're fine. It must be you. Okay. So imagine that. Imagine that starts to happen. And so then you're starting to question, wait a minute, maybe I'm just picky. Maybe I'm ungrateful. Maybe I have too high a standard. Maybe I expect too much from the restaurant that I have supported with my dollars for years and years and years that I brought my family to. Okay. So picture that scenario. All right. Now imagine that somebody walks into the restaurant, they bust into the restaurant and they come in and instantly they come in and you like them. You're like, "Oh, this person has so much charisma. I really like them. I don't know who this is, but I really like them. They're kind of loud." You think you've seen them before, you recognize them. They're maybe even famous. And this person comes in the restaurant and says, "Hey, listen, guys, I know you're having problems with this restaurant. I get it. People have told me about it. I've been hearing it everywhere I go. And I'm here to show you what's really going on, and we're going to fix it because this is one of the best restaurants in the entire city, and we're not going to let this go down the tubes. We're going to fix this." And so everybody in the restaurant, the customers, of course, are like, "Okay, that's awesome. I love this restaurant. I want you to fix it." Okay? And then, all right, the manager comes out and says, "There's nothing to fix. Everything is fine. Get out of here, you big meanie." All right. So, right? Why would the manager do that? Because the manager probably has something to hide. All right. So, but the people are with the person that comes in, the rescuer, and they say, "Yes, we want you to fix it." Well, the first thing the rescuer does is they walk back in the kitchen and they take everybody with them and they say, "Come on, let's see what's really happening." All right. And I told you this is a good analogy. That's why I want you to pay attention. So the people are behind the rescuer and and some of them might not be. Some of the people might get mad. They might say, "Everything was perfectly fine. Why did you have to complain? You're just being mean." We have to let them do what they want because they're a restaurant and they're restaurant owners and they have 4 stars and you can't criticize them. But the rescuer says, "Yes, we can criticize them because we pay their bills." And so everybody traipses into the kitchen with the rescuer. And then the rescuer starts opening things. The rescuer goes into the steam table where they keep all the sauces. So any good restaurant, they have, the sauces that they make every day, and they have them in these stainless steel containers, right? And they're all covered up, and you put ladles in them. And so if you order something with béarnaise sauce, they pull it out and they put it on your dish, and then they cover it back up again, right? They don't they make those all ahead of the shift. Okay, so the sous chef does that. And then they've got a freezer full of stuff, they've got a refrigerator, they've got everything they need to run this kitchen. And so the rescuer comes in and he starts opening everything, right? He's opening, and the manager is running around behind him trying to stop him. All right? He's running around, he's trying to stop him because the manager knows, "Oh no, the jig is up. We have been deceiving people and we've been telling them that what we have is 4-star quality, but we've been skimping. And we've still been charging. We've actually charged them more to fix the problem, but we haven't fixed it." And so what happens though, it's not even just that they're using like lesser quality. What's happening when the rescuer starts to open everything is that there's actually like disgusting. It's like beyond gross. I mean, they open one of the containers that's supposed to have, a béarnaise sauce in it, and it's got worms on top. And it turns out all this time they've been scooping, like moving the worms out of the way and then scooping out the sauce and then putting it on your food and still charging you top dollar for it and pretending that everything's fine. And then you go into the walk-in where all the meats are. And there's meat that is on every shelf. Anybody that's ever worked in a restaurant knows that you have to put the meats on the low shelves so that if they bleed, if the meat leaks, that it doesn't drip on all the other foods. But that's not what they did. They put the beef and the chicken. Chicken is gross, guys. Okay, it's disgusting. So they put all of this like on the top shelves and everything's leaking, and it's leaked in the mushrooms and the strawberries and the cheeses and the butter and all of the foods that you've been served. All of the juices and the blood from the meats have been leaking all over your food. Not only that, but they've got old meat in there with maggots in it. And Mr. the rescuer is showing you all of this. He's just ripping the doors open and he's showing you everything. And you're sitting there going, "Oh my gosh, this is disgusting. We need to fix this." And then in swoops the media, and the media comes in and they start to spin a narrative. And they say, this really mean, horrible restaurant inspector just came in, and he came in and he's being so mean to these restaurant owners. And he's telling everybody that they're doing bad things and that they're cheating and that they're lying to their customers. But it's this guy who's really mean. And so we're going to smear him. We're going to slander him. We're going to libel him. We're actually even going to threaten his life because we know the truth. And all of these people who are seeing it with their own eyes, they're liars. They're terrorists. They're the enemies of this restaurant. We need to have them arrested and kicked out for good. We need to persecute them because what they're seeing with their own eyes isn't the truth. So, guys, that's what's happening in our country. That's what's happening. The President Trump has come in and he has so let me back up. So for years and years and years and years, you and I have been living, raising our families, growing up, paying taxes in the best country in the world, 5-star country. And every time there's a problem, we're told, oh, just give us more money. We'll fix it. We'll take care of it. Every time there's a problem, it's been the problems have been glossed over by inspectors who have been paid off to tell you that everything's okay. The people that are doing the inspecting, who are minding the hen house, the foxes, they still get paid and they still keep raising their prices, right? This is Congress, Senate, your elected officials, the people that are supposed to be governing and watching out for your best interests. They're the ones who are telling you, oh, everything's fine. It's you that's the problem. What do you mean you love your country and you want quality out of the representatives that are getting paid out of your taxes? You're a traitor. You're a terrorist. How could you expect that? Right? And they got the media in their pocket. So they're gaslighting you. There's nothing wrong. It's you that's the problem. This entire country has been under the influence and under the big lie. It's not just the election that's the big lie. The big lie is that they've been telling you all this time that everything is okay. And they've been taking your money and they have been telling you that everything's okay and that we just need a little more money to fix it. And if you think there's a problem, you're the problem. Do you see that? And here's where we are in this process. And this is what is making it hard for people, because I think that some people really believed that what was going on behind those double doors inside that walk-in on that steam table, that everything was fine. That because they told you it was fine, that it was. And that when you follow the rescuer into the kitchen because you like him and because you trust him, all of a sudden when he lifts up that cover and you see those worms and you go in the walk-in and you see the maggots, you panic. You think, this is the worst thing ever. This is horrible. What are we going to do? I've got news for you guys. This has been happening a long time. It's just that you're just seeing it for the first time. And so people, hold on just a second. So people that are just seeing it really have a choice. You've got some choices to make, okay? Because if somebody takes me into the back room of a restaurant that I've been supporting for years and I see that there's worms in the food and maggots in the meats, um, I'm going to be grossed out, but I'm not going to panic. And and there's a call that's happening. There's a higher call that you're being called to as a nation in how you're going to handle this. Because I got news for you. There's more to come. You're going to see more. When you ask, when you ask for the truth, when you ask for the truth to be revealed, what do you expect to find? You're going to see maggots. And that's actually what we hired President Trump to do. You know that, right? We hired him to go behind the scenes and to pull the covers off of all of these lies. The big lie is that everything behind those doors has been okay and that they've been telling you the truth and that they've been representing you in the way that you hired them to represent you. That couldn't be further from the truth. And what President Trump is here to do, and now good citizens who are standing up, like the people in Arizona who have been fighting for this audit. What they're doing is they're uncovering all the slop and rot and putrid mess that has been there all this time. Because the truth is, that four-star restaurant that you've been taking your family to, they've been hiding it for a long time. And the health inspector that gives them the 100% score has been on the take. That's what's happening with your country. And now you're seeing it. And you're seeing it worldwide. And it's disgusting. And it turns your stomach. And it scares you. And so the question that you have is the question before you, me, everybody is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to run around in a panic, with your, like a chicken with your head cut off? The sky is falling. The sky is falling. What are we going to do? Or are you going to be part of the solution? Do you see how this works? I think that I wanted to show you, I wanted to tell you this because I think it really helps illustrate it for some people. What you have believed for so long, not only is it not true, but it's more disgusting and more sinister and more criminal than you could ever have imagined. It's important to understand that, and it's important to understand where you go and how you deal with it when the truth is revealed, when you see that. Because, first of all, the people that are responsible for this, they're not going to fix it. They have to go. And secondly, the people that are um, upset, that are um, resigned. Okay, so you're either scared, maybe you're resigned. Oh, that's just the way it is. It's never going to get fixed. Uh, Everybody has different reactions, but the truth is, it's never going to get fixed if you are stuck in that place of thinking, "Oh my gosh, this is horrible." If that's your narrative, if that's become your narrative and you're stuck on that track, then I'm here to yank you out to the next place where you say, "Okay, what are we going to do?" And um there's there's things you can do. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of that right now. But it's important to understand that this is the process that you've been taken through when you decided to get engaged and to start paying attention to what was going on around you. This was inevitable. There's no way that you weren't going to see this. And so if you are a little shocked, I understand. But the next step is you have to make a decision and you have to learn and figure out how you're going to deal with it. And my recommendation is that if you are a person of faith, if you are a Christian, if you're a believer, dig deep and ask for wisdom on how to deal with this, how to take practical steps, how to pray, what it is that you do. The last response anybody should have is fear or apathy, or just, giving up and saying, this is the way it's going to be and nothing can change. Because when you do that, you're literally just turning over your country to the enemy, to the people that stole the election. Um, and 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 I want to reiterate, as we think about the narrative that the president is pushing on some specific things, is that what he has been doing, what the things that he's exposed to you, really, I think, are just the tip of the iceberg. And so the decisions that he's made about treatments, about health options, about those kinds of things, I think it's really critical to understand that that the agenda that has been on the table for America and for the world has been so horrible, so sinister, that the things that you're seeing on the surface really are just on the surface. And so, because he has been a wartime president, he has had to make choices in many cases between two bad options and to pick the least bad of the options. I hope you understand that. He is not a man who would ever willingly harm people. Uh, in some cases, he's had to make decisions about what would inflict the least harm over the longest term. That's not an easy decision to make. And so I want you to understand that, okay? It's sort of like if he's in the kitchen and if he's in the kitchen and there is, you've got I'm not thinking of an analogy right now, but I'll come to it. Okay, somebody's saying Pence shouldn't have listened to Fauci. That's inconsequential at this point. What I'm saying to you is that the decisions, the bigger picture of what President Trump was faced with goes so far beyond the pandemic, goes far beyond whether people should have distanced or not. Those are such small pieces of the equation. I can't reiterate that enough. The things that were on the table, the bigger, more sinister plan was that you wouldn't even have a menu choice if we go back to the to the restaurant scenario. Okay. So just keep that in mind, all right? Because it really is important to understand that. uh Over 100 in live chat. Please hit the thumbs up. Please, 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 everybody that's here, hit the thumbs up. We need that in YouTube. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I hope that analogy helps you. I think I'll probably get some more revelation about it as time goes on, but I really wanted um to give you that picture. Now, okay, there's something else that I wanted to tell you. So for those of you who continue to say nothing's happening, I got news for you. It is happening. So something happened today that I thought was very interesting. A report came out. This is a report from Disclose TV. They tend to be pretty accurate in their reporting. They said, just this was this morning, hashtag Boys Town, one of the most prolific child sex abuse platforms on the dark web, with over 400,000 registered users, taken offline and admins arrested in a multi agency operation sparked by a German investigation. Many more arrests to follow. And this is coming out of Europol. I put this on my Telegram this morning. So think about that, guys. Um, that's massive. That's huge. One of the biggest problems that we've had, especially since the pandemic started, is that kids have been victimized online in bigger ways than ever before. So this is good. This is a big thing. Pray that more is revealed. Now, the thing that you're not seeing, you're hearing the story, but President Trump, the patriots, the people that are working with him to expose these things, they actually see what's happening. They're the ones that are lifting the covers off and pulling the curtains back, and they're actually seeing. They're subject to. They're on the front lines, and they're seeing day to day the evidence of what I just talked about. And they're still going on. And so this is something that I want to impress upon you, because you hear about it and it hurts your spirit, because we're compassionate people. The president sees all of this. He sees the reports. He sees the abused children. He sees the pictures. He sees the videos. He sees the communication between these people that are victimizing our children. Think about that. So I want you to get perspective, because those of you who say, oh, I can't take it anymore, I just can't take it, this is too hard, whatever. Put yourself in the shoes of our president. Put yourself in the shoes of our special forces, of the investigators who deal with all of this, who uncover these things. Um, you can handle more than you think you can. And we're at that place in life right now where you're being called to a higher purpose, to handle more than you think you can handle. I was just talking to a friend the other day. We were talking about our families, and my family's been in Virginia for 11 generations, and my great great grandmother was alive during the Civil War, and she was it my great great grandmother? Yeah. So because my great grandmother was born then. Yeah, and so all of the men were gone. They were farming up in the on the east of the Blue Ridge. And so at that time, during that time, whenever they had crops to take to get milled, so they had to get the corn milled. They had to take it over the mountain. If you've ever been to the Skyline Drive, even driving that drive now, even especially in bad weather, it's not an easy drive. And my great great grandmother, she had crops that were harvested, and she had to take it across the mountain to get it to the mill to get it processed. And she did that by herself with the dog and the shotgun in the wagon. She hitched up the mules, took them across the mountain, and by herself, and did that. So, guys, um, think about that. Uh, Hold on, I got to plug in my computer. I'll be right back. I didn't know it was not plugged in. Okay, I'm back. So I just want to put that out there, because, you know, I just, when people tell me that they're done or they can't handle anymore or things like that, I just want to say, yes, you can. Um, you know, buckle up and and just push through, because in some cases, in a lot of cases, the stuff that we're seeing, it isn't even affecting us specifically, it's affecting other people. So we have more strength than we think we do, and with God all things are possible. Okay, now somebody said something about the symptoms that people were getting from being around other people who've gotten this treatment. And I don't have time to talk about that today, except to say, this whole year, um, this whole year, Grandparents ran a farm with no plumbing. Yeah, same here. No electricity, no plumbing. Exactly. That for more than a year, hopefully you've lived in faith that you wouldn't get the Rona. And so my contention is, has God left the building? Has he gotten smaller or bigger in your mind? Can he protect you from that? Okay. Think about that. This is a serious challenge because, I've been tempted to think, okay, I don't want to be around anybody that got the shot because of the reports I'm hearing. However, I wasn't afraid during the pandemic. I wasn't afraid of getting sick. So just think about that, right? It's your choice whether you live in fear. You're the only one who can choose whether you live in fear. And I'm talking from the point of view of somebody who's been delivered from a lot of fears. I know what I'm talking about. Um, you have that choice, okay? And I'm saying that as kindly as I can. Now, before I sign off today, I wanted to let you know I will be doing my show on Wednesday and Thursday of this week. I have to be away tomorrow, so I will not be broadcasting. Somebody please share that information. And some of you guys are going to miss that. You're going to be online tomorrow going, "Where's Mary Grace? Where's Mary Grace?" Um, so the I'm going to be on Wednesday and Thursday at 5:30 Eastern. Wednesday and Thursday at 5:30 Eastern. Okay. And the other thing I want to tell you is make sure that, oh, Michelle, that's, ugh. Let's talk later. I'll pray with you. Okay. Um, Yeah, it's bothering me too, guys. I'm not dismissing it. I know it's a thing. I know it's real. I've seen the reports and I've shared them. Okay? I'm not trying to tell you it's not real. I'm saying that let's let's have faith that what God says he can do regardless of the circumstances, okay? Um and let's get through this. Um if yeah we'll get through this, okay? We can't let this phase of the pandemic take us out. That's what I'm saying, okay? um and support each other too. I'm not dismissing what's happening. I was like that last week. I was like, okay, should I take my dad out in public? Should I go, like, I was really letting it I was really letting myself get into fear. I'm just saying, let's walk in faith. Let's not change the level of faith that we're walking in. Okay. Um, yeah. And I hope there's an antidote. I really do. I'm kind of wondering if it's the same antidote that he talked about that was the prevention that they were censoring for so long. Starts with an H. I'm kind of wondering about that. Might be worth trying. DeSantis said it's over in Florida. I know. I know. It surprises me that he's still giving businesses the choice of putting the stupid masks. Um, it's crazy. But at least a lot of the businesses I think are going to back off because they're not going to be afraid of being reported. That's what is the big deal, is that businesses have been afraid of being shut down by the stupid OSHA and the health department. But if it's no longer a mandate, I think they're going to take the freedoms. And I think they're going to realize that those people on social media that are complaining and reporting them are far less than the people that don't want the masks anymore. I believe that's going to happen. So let's just see. Okay. Listen, I've had people writing to me about superfoods. I have had I've had people I've had people writing to me, make sure that you get in touch with me. Summer is on the way. It's actually a great time to do a nutritional reset. So I think it is, fresher foods. You can, I don't know. I just think it's easier. Plus, you're wearing skimpier clothes, so you might realize that you actually gained more Rona weight than you thought you did. So it's a good time to lose weight. We have recordings of trainings that we've done. There's tons of support when you decide to do the superfood reset. So make sure you get in touch with me, info@marygracemedia.com, so that you can get save over $100 off of your reset. And it's a transformation program. It has everything you need, and you're going to yeah. I think the superfoods will help, guys. If you're looking at boosting your immune system, we actually have a new zinc complex that actually has the C in it. And I forgot to talk about that. I'll get some more information about it, but it's food based. It has the C, D, E, and the zinc in one. I don't know if it's a capsule or a tablet, but that's really good. And so write to me, write superfoods and zinc, so I can send you the link to that as well. So it's info@marygracemedia.com, and save over $100 off of your whole order when you order the transformation and the zinc. It's a really good thing. Yeah. If you're already using superfoods, go log into your account and click on Quick Shop, and it's the very last item under Z, and you'll find it, and you can order it, and make sure you do that. Also, the product that my dad has been using for his brain health, it's just been fantastic. I've started using it too. Very excited about that. So just make sure you get in touch with me. Yeah, quinine water, which is tonic water. You can't go wrong with that. It does have sugar, so just be aware that you're putting added sugar to your body. All right. So info@marygracemedia.com. Also go to the website, marygracemedia.com, click on support. If you want to support what I'm doing here with the show, you can do that. When you buy superfoods, it supports me too. And that's really win-win, because you're getting healthier at the same time. Hey, Miguel, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a long time. Okay. Quinine is one of the major ingredients of Trump's cure. It is. Yeah, exactly. There is diet tonic water, but I think it has artificial sweetener in it. So yeah, that's a little bit tougher. I get quercetin, Quercitin. You can get that. You can get an organic. Usually the local health food store has that, and then you don't have all that added sugar. So just think about that. Okay, so write to me, info@marygracemedia.com, and I'll be back Wednesday. And don't panic if you don't see me tomorrow. I will be back on Wednesday and Thursday at 5:30 Eastern. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate all the great comments. Make sure that you, oh, Anne, I'm glad you ordered that. Let me know what you think of it. So make sure that you are following my Telegram channel too. It is Mary Grace Media Official. Mary Grace Media Official. Yes, faith over fear. Faith over fear. Info@marygracemedia.com. Marygracemedia.com. Click on support. Come back after the fact on Telegram on YouTube. If you're watching the replay, please leave comments in the replay so that we can break the algorithm, because I think that's really going to help. And so yeah, just wait for the replay to come up and then leave comments. That'll be awesome. Facebook, tag your friends, and also share into groups. I will see you on Wednesday. Have a great evening, everybody. Take care.